Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tea with Tea. This is your host, Talia Dominguez. And if you're new here, then welcome to Tea with Tea. In this podcast, we talk all things womanhood, spirituality, life, its ups, its downs. So if you want to stay, then stay on, strap on, because we're about to start our new episode. So today's episode is called Not Everyone Deserves to Have Access to Your Energy. And apart from that being a statement that everyone should know about themselves, this episode is going to go deeper on how to determine and how to notice when you have people in your life who are taking from you, not valuing your energy, and pretty much people who are just there to take. We're also going to discuss on how to cut people off once we notice the signs that these people might not be in our lives for the right reasons. And we're also going to discuss how to establish boundaries moving forward after you have this realization. This little episode feels also like a venting session for me. For the last couple months, I think I have been going through this because I don't know why. Actually, I'm still in the midst of it, but we don't have to understand the why in order to understand that this is happening to us. So right now, I'm not too caught up in understanding like why did I attract people who were trying to use me. I'm more focused on these people were using me. How am I going to move forward on learning this lesson so that I'm able to see when these people present themselves again. So this is an important lesson for us when we're going through things. We get so caught up in like, why is this happening to me? Oh my God, but like, why now? And I'm not too focused on that because I'm not a victim of anything. If for some reason I was too busy, caught up in my own life and being quote unquote too nice and giving and helping everybody, and I did not notice that some people were trying to use me, I'm not going to blame myself for this. However, now that I have noticed, I do want to take accountability and move forward being more aware of the people that I let into my life. So if you can relate to this and you want to hear on the lesson and how to overcome all these things, then this episode is for you. It's never an easy pill to swallow to realize that you have given access to people, to your energy, to your space, to your creativity that we're just trying to profit off of you. I think this is a realization that comes with a lot of sour taste in your mouth because you start to see how not everyone is like you, right? So if you're listening right now and or you're watching right now and you're someone like me, I'm the type of person that if I'm eating, everyone that I'm in contact with is eating too. I want all my girls to win. I want everyone that I come in contact with to reach their maximum potential. And if I have any type of influence in you and can help you, I'm going to help you. And I don't want anything from you. I just want to see you succeed and I want you to be happy. We think that everyone else is like us because we like that. We're like that. We move through life in that certain way. So we think, oh my God, no, like, of course, no, she just wants to help me. She's just being nice. Like, sadly, that's not always the case. And that is why this episode was inspired by that. Before we go on how to detect when people are using us, I want to discuss about how us women are raised to be people pleasers. And we're raised all of our life to, how can I say this? Like, quote unquote, we have to be good girls, we have to be nice, we have to be polite, we have to please others, we need to be accepted. There's so many things that society tells us from a very young age as women that we need to be. And if we're not any of these things, then we get labeled very easily and very fast like, oh my God, she's a bitch. And what I've come to realize is that many times when people perceived me as a bitch was simply because I was putting a boundary of you're not going to talk to me that way, you're not going to treat me that way. I respect myself, I know my self-worth. So a woman who knows all these things automatically, to people who are trying to use her, profit off of her, or want to have access to her and can't, you're labeled a bitch. So this is my quick reminder before we start that it is okay to be a villain in someone else's story if it means respecting yourself and yours. So I'm a big believer of that. So let me say that before we start, okay? So let's get right into it. How to detect when people are using you. A good question to ask yourself now that you're listening to this episode and you were already gravitating to this lesson, is to take a quick scan of your circles, of your work associations, of your relationships in general. And when you take this quick scan, I want you to see if your environment looks like what you want it to look like, if these are relationships that are blossoming and flourishing. I want you to see if this environment is healthy for you, if it's influencing you to become a better person. And also, in specific, when did they come into your life and what is your relationship with them based on? Because sometimes people come into our lives, of course, when everything's going great and we're like at an all-time high in our lives, and they come into our life trying to just like ride that wave, right? So that matters when people come into your life. And also, what is the relationship based on? For example, me and my best friends, right? I probably have like 3 best friends that are like close to. And our relationship is based on love. It's genuine love. Like we've known each other for years. Our relationship wasn't based off profiting or benefiting one another. We simply get one another. And we've been there for each other through so many stages of our life. We've seen each other change. We've seen each other be our best selves and our worst selves. However, we have stuck together through it all. So I know that me and my best friends, our relationships are based on love, genuine support, and honesty and loyalty. I never have to doubt that. But recently, when I did a quick scan around my life, I noticed that a lot of people, when they have came into my life, were trying to be part of my business, trying to be part of my group, trying. That's the word, trying. It wasn't genuine. When something is genuine, it kind of just merges and flows into your life seamlessly. You don't even notice when you become close to someone that's meant to be in your life because you think, oh my God, like 1 second we were just having a coffee and all of a sudden you're in my house and you're visiting me and we're so close together. There was no trying and forcing, it simply flowed. So right now, I know you might be thinking, okay, who's in my life that could be using me? Who's in my life that I have felt like they were using me? Because I want to remind to you that like your intuition is never wrong. If you're in touch with yourself and you can see through people and situations, do not doubt yourself and keep giving people the benefit of the doubt, because then it turns out that you have been going against what you felt only for later on have the realization that you were right all along. So go with your first nudge. If you're thinking of anyone right now, then I want you to take a quick scan and see if this person is really there for you or in your life for the right reasons, or they just want to have a piece of your cake. The reason why I'm saying this is because many times these people who are users come into our lives disguised as new friends, disguised as people that want to help and be part of it. And that's just the facade and the mask that they wear initially. So they're almost being a mirror to you. They look at you and they say, this person is genuine. This is their interest. This is how they feel about life. So I'm going to reflect that back to them, even if it's not me, but because I want to be part of that. I want to have access to them. I want to be in relation to them. And I want your energy. So I heard a quote the other day by the Hood Healer on Instagram, and it served me so well, and I think it aligns perfectly with what we're talking about today. And it says something along the lines of, not everyone is attracted to your light. Some people are attracted to how your light can illuminate them. And that's the realest shit I've ever heard. And it relates to this episode and it related to what I was going through, because these people are like how the bugs are attracted to the light. You know what I mean? Like they see the light and it's shining so bright and they can't help to gravitate to it and fly around it and see if they can stick to it. That's the way that I see these people going around life trying to take advantage of others. And the truth is, sometimes these people are not even aware that they're doing it. It's such a selfish and unconscious behavior for them that they think they're actually getting away with it. But with people that have strong intuitions, with people who are in touch with themselves, and with people who are protected by God, they are going to be exposed. And when they're exposed, it is our job as humans and conscious beings to see that and acknowledge that and protect ourselves from that. A further step into realizing when someone is being a user in your life, it's when you give someone a finger and they take your whole arm. At this point, these type of people, as long as you let them, they will actually take your whole body at that point. And oh my god, when this recently happened to me, I was so shocked because I'm the type of person that I know my limits, Like if someone lets me into your house, 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, I will ask you, hey babe, can I have some water? Hi babe, is it okay if I use the bathroom? I'm not the type of person who someone gives a little bit of access and then they just push it to the max. But the truth is that the people who are like this, they're everywhere. And they're in your life and they're in my life. And sometimes we don't notice that these people have completely taken over our energy and our power and our creation, thinking that it's theirs. Absolutely not. This is a reality check for you. You need to protect your energy. You need to protect the people that you hang around with. And not everyone deserves access to your energy. That's the truth. It doesn't make you a villain. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a conscious, clear, balanced human being. I think when we're also humble people, we tend to underestimate how much others can benefit from being in relation to us. And I think this specifically relates to when you have a community already that follows you, that supports you, when you have family that loves you, when you have friends that love you. Um, I think you try to not downplay, but you try to feel as you're one with everybody else and you want to help everybody and you want everyone to kind of join you in this journey that you're on. But the reality is that we do the work and we see the result. So if you're doing well, if your life is going up and you're putting in the work, not everyone needs to come along for the journey. Because the reality is that is your journey. And you have gotten as far as you've gotten because of the work, the sweat, the tears that you've put into your work. So be careful because you don't want people just tagging along, pretending that they're clapping when in reality, they're only clapping to see their hands on, be like, what are you going to give me though? How can my relation to you benefit me? What am I going to take from this? What can I gain from being her friend? What can I gain from being close to her? It's the truth. And I think as women, it's so hard to find genuine connections and genuine friendships. But that's why I made this episode because I don't want to sugarcoat it and only talk about positive things on this podcast. Although this is not a negative conversation, it's a realist conversation about going out in the world and trying to make new friends and trying to grow a community and trying to grow a business and just moving through life. You are a powerful woman. And when you're a powerful woman, many people want, even if it's a glimpse on how you got there, because they want to know, how can I get there? And there's nothing wrong with that. I literally make a living out of empowering women and making them feel like they can conquer the world because they can. However, I pour into these women and I see the reciprocation right back to me. I pour into them, they pour into me. Your energy must be reciprocated in every single relationship that you're in. It needs to be multiplied. It needs to be poured right back because that's the true meaning of friendship or human to human connection. It's an exchange of energy. And the reality is that there's a lot of people out here trying to just take and take and take and take. And when it ends up being that you're the one that needs help, you're the one that needs to be poured, you're the one that needs support, these people will disappear and pretend that the relationship wasn't as deep as it was only because there's nothing that benefits them when you're in need. Friends and people that love you are there for you, regardless if you have zero to offer them or if you have everything to offer them. Their love and support for you is unconditional. Their love for you comes from a place where there's no need for validation. There's no need for you to prove yourself that you're good enough, that you're successful, that life is going amazing. When you love someone and when you have a friend that needs you, you're not looking to gain anything out of them. I have had my friends support me when I had nothing to give them. And when I go into a place of being able to help them and give back, they're not even expecting it. they're just happy and they're like, thank you. And I think that's what the true meaning of friendship is. It's knowing that we're in each other's lives because I want to see you win and you want to see me win, and not because I'm trying to eat off your plate and actually eat off of mine too. It's unacceptable. If you're anything like me, I'm actually just happy to see my friends win. And the reality of life is that at times we're at a low when our friends are at a high. And that should not stop you from clapping and celebrating your friend. There needs to come a point in your adult life that you're able to detect, hey, I might not be in the best place in my life, but hey, my friend is actually at a peak of hers. Can I put my emotions aside and celebrate her? Absolutely, because that's love. That's genuine friendships. That's genuine support. Knowing that, hey, my turn will come soon. Even if it's not my turn to celebrate right now, it is my friend's, and she deserves to be honored and celebrated and loved, even if right now I might be going through a hard time. This leads perfectly into the second way, into realizing how people might be using you. Ask yourself right now, if you needed help tomorrow at the exchange of nothing, will they be there for you? Will they show up? Will they help you carry the weight and the baggage that you're carrying at the exchange of absolutely nothing? This is the second question that I want you to ask yourself. Following up the first one, which was, when did they come into your life and what is the relationship based on? When you ask yourself those two questions, it follows up and it leads to this one. If you needed help tomorrow at the exchange of nothing, will these people be showing up for you? And that's going to answer and tie everything together. If the answer is no, if in your head right now you thought of someone and the answer is like, no, they wouldn't show up, then there you know. It's time to cut them off. These people are not meant to be in your life because they're only in your life to take from you. And you will know the difference, because I believe that God and overall life never lets us be fooled for too long. If we decide to wear a blindfold for years about the people that are in our lives, it is a choice, but not because God didn't warn us and not because God didn't show us the truth. God will show us because God gives harsh reality checks, and it is up to us to follow that, to digest that, and be like, well, yeah, if I just realized this person's not really my friend, I could stay friends with them. I could put my blindfold on and pretend that this person still loves me and this person really supports me, when in reality, I already know they don't. My deeper inner knowing, I already knows I should have let go of this friendship, of this relationship, of this work associate, because it's not really a healthy relationship in my life. It is us who continue trying to force something and hold on to something that we know we should have let go of already. I like to think of people who are users as leeches, because what I have seen from experience is that they look for people who are full of life, who are full of light, and they kind of just grip onto them to try to suck as much blood and as much energy and as much light as they can to make themselves feel empowered, to make themselves feel important, to make themselves feel as they are the same as them. I want to be very clear on the fact that, do I think these people are necessarily evil all the time? No. Do I think that these people are selfish? Absolutely. Do I think sometimes these people are narcissists? Absolutely. Do I think sometimes these people are completely unaware of being users and opportunists? Absolutely. I think these people think that they're actually this good, genuine person trying to help others, and they almost put on this mask. And this social mask is to be accepted, to be praised, to be loved, to make people like them. But the reality is that when you go back home and you look in the mirror, you know who you are. And can you sleep at night? Can you sleep at night knowing that you actually are supporting people out of love versus supporting people out of interest? There's a big difference there. And I don't want to go through this episode without making you realize that when you support people out of love, again, it's coming from a place of wanting to see the world win, to want to spread positivity, to want to help at no exchange. If you're supporting something and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to support her because in the future, I might want to. you're doing it out of benefit. And there's nothing wrong if you want to do something trying to get benefit out of, but be real when you approach the person. Hey, I want to work together because I want to grow my business. And then cut all the other shit out. Cut the oh, I want to be your friend and let's grab a coffee and I'm so happy for you, because at least be real about it. We can't have a connection that's only based on business. You can have a connection that's only based on beneficial terms for each other. But it needs to be known. It needs to be clear. Cut the bullshit out and be real with yourself. And that's the only way that other people are going to be real with you too. Of course, that in this episode, I'm going to throw in the on a spiritual level, because I see things spiritually all the time. And I believe that users and people who are just looking for an opportunity out of everyone and out of every situation are actually, on a spiritual level, very lost within. And they're seeing people around them succeed. They're seeing people around them live in their purpose, and they're trying to just ride the wave of somebody else instead of looking within and soul searching and getting themselves to the point that they want to be. They're seeing people already at that point and wanting to just skip the work, wanting to just rush to get to that point and almost pretend they're already there even though they're not. I have many people that I look up to on an everything level. I have women that I look up to on a career and on an empowerment level that I'm like, I want to get there. But am I pretending that I'm there yet? No, because I know there's a lot of work that I need to do before I get there. I learn from these women, even from afar. I don't need to go and pretend to be in association with you so I can learn from you. I'm watching you, I'm inspired by you, and I'm honoring my own journey. So it's actually sad that these people who are so lost trying to fit in and play a role, that they're unaware that others can see through them, that others do have a strong intuition and awareness and can see through their facade and fake intentions. I've mentioned this already a couple of times, but the people that have popped into your head during this episode are the people that your intuition and your gut are telling you to re-examine and determine if the relationship between you two is a healthy one and one that needs to be long lasting. Now that we have discussed on how to determine these people and how to do a scan in your life of your friendships and relationships, we're going to go into, now that we've realized it, how do we go about cutting people off and letting these relationships go? So let's get right into it. I like to believe that I'm pretty good at cutting people off. I don't know. I think I have an artistic and almost majestic way of letting people go. I let people go where they question if I was real or I was just an illusion. Was I ever friends with her? I don't know, because nothing ever really happened. There was really no argument. She kind of just disappeared. And I would say that's my trick. I kind of just disappear slowly. I let it be. And the reason being is because in the past, if you're anything like me, I have popped off on people. I have told them off. I've told them about themselves, and I'm actually getting out of your life. F you. You're blocked. What I found after my experiment was that this is actually so energetically draining, right? It's like I'm scooping down to their level and trying to actually make them realize about themselves that they're not even ready to realize this about themselves. So for me now, step number one to cutting people off is asking yourself, is this relationship worth me explaining myself and how I feel before cutting them off and just letting the relationship go? Why I want you to ask this question is because at times it's friends that you've had for years and you have had very good times and memories together, and it is worth you letting them know and giving them the opportunity to show up and explain themselves why they have been absent or maybe why there has been a misunderstanding. At times this conversation leads to like a reconciliation and to mending things together and to a better understanding. But at times, you're just wasting your time and wasting your energy. You've already felt the truth. You've already seen the truth. You've already seen their true colors. Why are you going to go and try to explain to them what they already should know? That's not up to you. We're not God. We're not here to teach people about themselves. They need to learn that shit on their own. So, step number two, Just create a space between each other and see if between that space and that silence, you actually feel their absence. The silence and the space is gonna tell more than an argument and a going back and forth will. Because from experience, I have been disappointed sometimes when I've had to let people go, certain people go. But when I give it a couple months, that I actually see that I don't miss them, I don't miss their energy, that they were actually just taking up space in my life, space that I could be using, and energy that I could be using to pour back into myself. So, step number 2 is essential. If you can cut someone off or stop talking to them and your life upgrades or your life stays the same, it was the right choice to do. These people were just taking up space. These people were just taking from you, and it was meaningless. It was an outdated relationship. So do not beat yourself over it. The final step is the third step, and it's to just let it fucking go. Let it go. Let them go. Let the situation go. Let the resentment go. Let the hate. Let the pain. All of it. Let it go. Because at the end of the day, the more that you grab onto the drama of what happened between you guys, the more that you grip onto how they wronged you or how they were using you, you're still giving them energy. You're still giving them access to your life. And the life that you're living now that they're not in, that they're missing out on because they didn't know how to show up for you and be genuine for you, it is not worth for them to still be part of your story. It's a clean slate. I'm starting this new chapter in my life myself. I'm taking all this advice myself because I'm simply tired. I'm simply tired of giving to people and being genuine and wanting to see them win. And when I've been in need, when I've needed them to show up for me, it's like, cricket, cricket. Absolutely fucking not. You know your worth. I know my worth. We should all know our worth, what we bring to the table, what we offer, what we can do for you, the type of friend that we are, the type of daughter, the type of work associate, the type of girlfriend. We know what type of women we are. And there's nothing wrong with honoring that for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with drawing boundaries. And there's nothing wrong with not letting others play about you, babe. Don't let them. Don't let them sit at your table and pretend that they earned a seat. Because the reality is that they should not be at the table because you're the fucking whole entire table yourself. And you've worked to be that table. You've done all the inner work to eat everything that's on the table, too. Every single plate, it's luxe. It's a 5-star meal because you did the work and you deserve to be there. And now only allow people to have access to you to come eat off your plate when they have earned the same type of work and the same type of respect to be there. I like to have a clear third eye. I like to know people. I like to see through people, situations. I like to live in reality. I do not want the delusion. I don't want to force. I don't want to pretend. So, with that comes a lot of cutting people off. And sometimes life feels lonely when you choose to live in this alignment because there's not that many real people out there. That's the truth. But there is still out there. So, I'm not in search of a big group of people that love me and support me. I'm happy with having my 3 friends, my boyfriend, and my family who love me and support me unconditionally. I'm okay with that. If you're someone who's seeking real love and real connection, it's gonna get lonely. And that's okay. It's better to be alone than with bad company. My mom has always told me that, and I've always lived by that. Learning not to let everyone have access to your energy does require boundaries and a high sense of self worth. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for that. You know who you are, and you're simply sticking to it. And you're telling people, this is who I am, these are my standards. If you don't reach them standards, if you don't know who you are, I don't want you around me. I don't think that's harsh. I want you to treat your energy how you would treat precious jewels that you have collected over the years. Would you lend these jewels to anybody? Are you going to give them to the person who came in 3 weeks ago and, oh my gosh, she's so sweet and so nice? No, because these are your precious jewels. Only give your jewels to people that you're going to give to them, and they're going to multiply the worth of the jewel. It's almost seeing like another woman who reflects the same energy as you, and you think, yeah, I'm going to give you my jewel because you are worthy of it. And actually, you enhance the worth of my jewel by wearing it, meaning being in each other's lives upgrades each other. It feeds off each other. We're building together. We're growing together. You inspire me. I inspire you. You show up for me. I show up for you at the exchange of nothing. I simply want to see you win. I'm happy for you and I love you. That's real friendship. That's real womanhood. And if you have people in your life who are not showing up like this for you, it's time to cut them off. And I'm glad to be the messenger to tell you this. I had to be the messenger for myself to cut people off. And I'm happy about it. I actually feel free. I feel lighter. And I trust myself now to know what's right from wrong. I trust myself now to protect my heart, to protect my spirit, and to protect my energy. I love you all. This is all I have for you in this episode. I'm so thankful for every single one of you who continues to listen to Tea with T, continues to support me. And I'm just happy to be able to show up for you guys and build such a beautiful, loving community that really shows up for me at the exchange of nothing. You guys DM me, you message me, you comment, we go back and forth on the topics that I discuss here, and that's what makes me happy. I want to show up for you just to show up for you. So if you want to show up for me right now, actually, you can rate and review this podcast. If you're watching on Spotify, then you can leave a thumbs up and also answer the following questions. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.